What's up, guys? I'm SaltEMike, and this is your Star Citizen Week in Review for July 19th, 2021. There's a lot of work going into the PTU for 314. We haven't even seen the apocalyptic changes for ships and flight combat yet, and we finally have mission-based rewards in Star Citizen. Very, very exciting. Let's get into it. Alright, as always, if this is your first week in review, this is the video where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week and put it into one compressed video and insert my opinions in there as well. Also, I do live stream on Twitch every day but Monday and sometimes Tuesday right now on twitch.tv/SaltEMike, starting around 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But we do have a little bit to get through, so let's get right into the patch notes. We had 4 patches this week, patches H through K on the PTU. We're going to start out with H. This change basically takes ballistic damage and makes it much stronger, but you have very limited ammo. Top pilots that I've spoken to really don't like this change. You'd think they would like it because it's going to be easier for them, but that's the exact reason why they don't. They're going to win most fights anyway, and now they just gave them the tools to win them in 3 seconds. They can kill a few ships in 3 seconds each, and then just fly somewhere and rearm. Very easy. So hopefully that gets changed throughout the PTU, but as you're going to see, they don't make those changes for the patches this week. Moving on to I, they swapped out turret default loadouts on a lot of ships, basically taking ballistics off of turrets because of the changes that they made. The star map should always be zoomed out instead of all the way in, as it has been in the I patch. Moving into J, there's more balancing this time now with cannons. They also seem to have made more punishments and more punishments, I guess, for pad ramming, and that's pretty cool. And then there were some additional HUD additions for like G-Safe and things like that. And then lastly, the K patch for this week had balancing for ballistic Gatlings and mass driver damage. They also updated the Reliant Tana's health, but they didn't say in what direction. My assumption would be giving it more, since time to kill is quite low at the time. We also had 2 playtesting events or posts this week. Player sync issues, so like desync and the like, but not necessarily the desync that we see in PvP, which is like the stuttering and kind of moving around, but like serious desync issues. And yeah, they're really bad right now, so they are looking to nail that down, and I think it's because it affects things like Xeno threat. So there was a Xeno threat playtest as well, and the big takeaway from this event test is, if you look in the reputation section of the CDF, the Civilian Defense Force, the rewards are armor. So as you progress through the reputation rewards and get higher and higher rep, the more pieces of this armor you get. Now, we don't know what this armor looks like yet, but that's an awesome reward for gaining rep for a company. And yeah, I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait for Xeno threat now. The last Xeno threat, it was cool to do once. Now that you have something to work towards, I'm going to chain it as much as I can. I'm very excited. We also had roadmap updates this week, and we're going to start out with what was added to the progress tracker. This is mostly adding the downstream tasks for quarter 3, which is like laser trip mine, frontier clothing, female player head improvements, all self-explanatory stuff. But then they got into the server meshing stuff. So DGS mesh node. This implements multiple servers connecting to one instance, it seems like. Shard manager assigns those servers. Then they had inventory unstow that grabs items from in-game and puts them out of game, is what it seems like. And then or grabs items from out of game and pulls them in, and then you have entity stow and destroy, which seems like the opposite, moving items from the game out into this inventory for storage. Item port mod API allows to modify ships that aren't physically in a server, it seems like. And then shard data query API and freeform variable API, I don't really know what these do. But the key information here is that almost all of these tasks are set to end just before October. What's in October, guys? CitizenCon. So my expectation is this is going to be a janky, maybe, version of a real jump from a star system like Stanton to Pyro, which we saw them, I think, fake it in CitizenCon 2019. This is going to be the actual working version, and we're going to see actual Pyro and its planets and moons. That's my expectations for CitizenCon based on what I'm seeing here. There's still, if you look at actual server meshing, the tasks continue quite far away, but I wonder what the ending in October scheduling for these tasks really mean, and it has to be something they want to do with CitizenCon, right? Then we had a bunch of AI work like nav links, trolley push and pull, ground vehicles, leisure, dancing. It's very obvious what all that is, and we'll see it when we see it. They had a fire hazard task, which is more of that fire work we keep seeing. My Alive link and destructible workflow, these are just their internal things to make their jobs and lives easier. And then there were 3 mission improvements or additions: rescue / transport missions, infiltrate and defend missions, comm array mission improvements. These are, these 3 are the first time that we've really seen the mission team doing anything basic. It seems like they've been tied up and completely slammed with the dynamic mission stuff for a long time now. So it's nice to see just, our general basic missions that we'll be doing, having a roadmap task at least. Then moving on to video updates, there was an SCL this week. We didn't have anything last week, but unfortunately this was another game dev one. So for me, I do find these quite boring because honestly they don't give me anything to talk about on the show. It was just them working on lighting of a hab in Orison, I think. So link will be in the description. Feel free to check those out. And then lastly, we have just a few updates in other updates. So John Crew has been live streaming actually quite a bit. I think it's CrewTube on twitch.tv. So feel free to check out his streams. They've been doing really well. And yeah, he talked about the ship experience changes, so check out this clip.
A fun story, when I said apocalyptic changes, I was not thinking about the changes coming in 3.14. These are the start of things. That could be possibly referred to as apocalyptic. But you're not going to get any more out of me than that.
Honestly, this statement's actually pretty surprising given how big the current changes are, but my guess is the apocalyptic changes are like when physicalized damage and components and armor and things like that are in. That would be pretty apocalyptic, right? So we'll have to see. We also had a sneak peek. These are Grimhex hospital props, so it looks like a really poorly run hospital, and it probably is. And then lastly, a lore post about law and order in our little universe. So guys, thank you so much for watching this week. I know it was a bit of a short one, but when we don't have videos to break down, it usually is. So I think this was our 3rd week, and Jared should be coming back for an ISC next week, I hope, but we'll have to see. Thank you so much, guys. Again, hit the like button if you haven't yet. Feel free, maybe join our member group. So thank you so much for all our current members for your support. You guys are awesome. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching.